And good morning. Welcome to another edition of Coach's Corner here on the Highliner Activity Network on this first one in the month of February. February, that means the season's done in a month and a half, and it has gone fast. And we are talking with Coach Jim McDaniel of the Highliner boys basketball team to kick things off. Morning, Coach.
Morning.
So far, the team, the last game out, Lisbon, a tough one, but defense is what I want to talk about. It was 18-11 after the first quarter.
Yep.
And then both defenses really tightened up there the rest of the game.
Yeah, and I think our offense has been playing better. I think we've been playing better team offense, which has led to us playing some better team defense. I didn't like the first quarter. I don't like them getting 18.
Right.
But, yeah, we stepped it up defensively throughout the game, and I thought we battled hard. Free throws, 2 of 9. First time we played them, we were just visiting. Before, our free throws weren't good against Lisbon. They were 13 of 15. We were 2 of 9. That's a big difference. They got to the line way too many times compared to ours, and and the stat that I always like to look at is if we can make more free throws than the other team takes.
Okay.
Most of the time on a close game, you're going to win those games.
Right.
And they made more than we took, and the ones we took, we missed too many.
Right.
So.
And you talk about with the defense, you're getting a lot of blocks too. Jack Dieterle and Samuelson and are really making their presence known down low right now. The teams are thinking, second-guessing themselves if they want to go inside.
Yeah, and then I think we're doing a better job rebounding too on the defensive end, so they're not getting as many offensive offensive putbacks. So I think that part of our game, I think we're getting better. I keep telling the guys, there's a lot of teams out there in Region 1 that I think have probably been playing their best ball, and they've kind of peaked where I think every game we're doing some things better. Yeah. Now we just got to put it all all together at the same. We've never had everybody healthy we're getting there, but we always got a little bit of an ankle tweak, or we got, so we haven't been healthy. We've never had a game where all guys are shooting on all, where we have that game where everybody has one of their better games. Yeah. We have guys that have good games, but then we have guys that are struggling that night. And, when it gets to the, regional tournament, I don't know if we got everything going, I don't know if anybody wants to play us.
Right.
Because it would be an upset. And so the pressure's on them.
Yeah. Is that a nice thing, though? When you go into the regional, hey, they're not expecting us to do much of anything when we get here.
Yeah. Well, that's totally true. That everybody will, Valley's lost. They lost this. We've lost some close games. Kindred, Devil's Lake. I mean, we hung with them for a long portion of those games. It comes down to, about a 2, 3, 4 minute span where some things got away from us, and all of a sudden the score doesn't look like the game really was. So I think we can be a scary team out there. And tonight, another big challenge, but what can we do right and just keep building for, once you get to tournament time, anything can happen. Yeah. So that's what makes March Madness fun on the college side. So we can make it pretty exciting when it gets to our tournament.
I know you if you had the right answer to this question, you'd be a genius, and a lot of people would want you to. But how do you avoid those 3-4 minute stretches where things just don't kind of click for you guys?
Yeah, I don't know. It's I don't know if they're are we trying to learn something there that it just happens that way, and it's something that we've had a lot of adversity this season, and I always think that kind of makes you stronger, and so hopefully those little stretches. Boys, sometimes boys are a little bit harder to, you can tell them this and you can tell them that. They're not big believers until they experience it themselves. So, we've had to experience those hard 3 minutes and 4 minutes, and hopefully that makes them believe, okay, that's what we were talking about in practice and stuff. So, but we got to kind of, we're running out of time.
Yeah.
We got, but yeah, we've really had, it's not that we've had bad games. We've had bad 3-4 minutes or a bad quarter.
Right.
It's not where we've had bad basketball for an entire game.
One thing too, your role players, you guys that are coming off the bench are really giving you some good minutes. Now Colin Thompson has come up and played some real good minutes here in the last few games.
Yeah, I mean, and that's Over the years, I'm a coach that likes to play 7 guys, and then that
Yeah.
8th guy sometimes, depending on foul trouble or who knows what happens. But I like 7. We always haven't had our 7 guys healthy, but yeah, right now, those 7 guys that are getting the bulk of the minutes, I like what we're doing. If we can get everybody healthy, everybody when they're on the floor, contributing and doing their role. Yeah, I think good things can happen for us.
Tonight, the game tonight, and I think you're finally back home again on Monday.
Yeah, we have not been in this building for quite a while.
It's almost since the holiday break. It
Yeah,
seems like
it seems Mike has put some miles on the bus. I tell you what. So
he's earning that CDL.
Yeah,
He's definitely earning that license.
yeah, that's
road game tonight. What do you expect?
Central Cass, I thought at the beginning of the year was going to be a favorite, because they just got a really good bunch of guys that they all can shoot. They're all quick. They're tough to defend. Wapaton, got him just the other night, and we talked with the guy. We got to keep the score low. They want to run. They want, they get on a roll. Wapaton watching, it was a score in the 50s.
Yep.
The first time they played, Wapaton lost by 3 the first time they played. Again, it's not their highest scoring game for Castleton. So that's got to be, we got to control our style. We don't need a bunch of possessions because they want to run and they want to hit 80.
Yep.
And we don't want to run 80. I mean, if we can keep it in the 50s, now they get nervous and that's kind of what happened against Wapaton. All of a sudden, they get on their heels and they start wondering, oh, gee, what if we lose? And pretty soon you do. And so that's kind of our game plan. Keep doing what we're doing. I like the games that we've been playing right now, but we can't get in a running. And we got to take care of the ball in the press.
Right.
I mean, they're gonna defend us. And we got to take care of the ball and not have turnovers that turn into transition points right off a turnover.
Because they're good at making you go fast.
They are.
That's kind of their modus operandi. They make you go fast,
Yeah.
whether you want to or not.
Yes, and they make you go fast, and then with their pressure, they make you think you can go places that you can't, and that turns into a turnover and an easy layup. And again, once they kind of get on that roll, the confidence goes up, and now they're kicking out for threes, and they're hitting that, and before you know it, you're down by, you can be down by 15 points just like that. And then now you're, again, against a good team, where do you get back to get 15 points back? And so we got to keep it close the entire game. If we end the first quarter and it's a 12-8 first quarter end, that's advantage us.
Yep.
If they get 27 in the first quarter, that'd be great if we have 27. But we need the scoring per quarter to be a little bit lower than where we're seeing who can reach 80 first.
Patience is a virtue.
It is.
It's going to be, and that shot clock can be your friend.
Well, yes, the shot clock can be our friend. And again, with the 2 jacks, we, and Collins coming in and playing a post position there too, our advantage is, we got some height, so some height advantage with them. So again, the slow game and using some inside presence, get them maybe in some foul trouble and things like that, that's to our advantage more than let's see how many points we can put up tonight.
We don't want a track meet.
No.
That's in the spring.
Yeah, well, not tonight anyway.
Not tonight. All right, Coach, appreciate it. Thanks for joining us. So Monday we're back home, but get that W tonight. Let's see what you can do in Castleton.
This would be a fun one to win in Castleton.
Especially coming home on Monday.
Yeah, and to have Castleton a 2-game losing streak, that would really get things going in Region 1. Gee, what's going to happen here? So,
here we go.
Yeah, make it an exciting Region 1.
Absolutely. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate
Thank
it. Coach Jim McDaniel joining us from the Highlander Boys Basketball. Back with Mark Coach's Corner here from the Hack on the Highlander Activity Network. Back here on Coach's Corner, here on the Highliner Activity Network, and we are joined by Matt March, one of the coaches for Highliner Wrestling. You helped out with it. You don't do Express much anymore, do you?
Yeah, I do.
Or do you still dabble with
Yeah.
it? Well, yeah, I suppose you can't let it go away.
Not yet.
Not yet, anyway, not yet. We're going to talk junior high. I had a junior high meet here on Monday night. That's the first one we've ever hosted, isn't it?
For a long time, it's first junior high wrestling meet Valley City's hosted in since I started helping, so 10, 12 years. So
How did it go? Obviously, that's the first thing. It looked like it went smooth.
it was kind of thrown together here by me and Rob Hunt in the last 2.5, 3 weeks, and we had 7 teams here. We had about 70 matches. It ran perfectly. 2 mats, certified officials. Kids got matches. Some kids got 4 matches. Some kids got 3. Most kids got 3. So.
A lot of things go into running a tournament, don't they?
Yes.
That people don't see until at all, the behind-the-scenes stuff. When you're building brackets for a tournament where there's not a lot of seedings and stuff, how do you go about building brackets for like a junior high tournament?
I got a computer program that helps me out with it. It's just a little Excel spreadsheet, and I just separate the kids out, kind of divide them up into 4, 5 for their weights, and throw them all together and let it go. And hopefully, if we got a kid that's really good, I'll bump them up. Or if we have separation criteria,
Sure.
beginner, average, good, we'll try to put the good kids together so they're just not throttling the newer kids.
Right. Do you ever get input from other coaches after you maybe put the bracket together, show it to them, and they're like,
Well, I don't usually do that just
Right.
because it's a lot more extra work for me than to go back in and redo it. But, we know a lot of these kids. We've been to a lot of junior high meets here this year, so we kind of know who was good and, who was softer. And we had some great matches. We didn't really have brackets. It was more of a mix and match.
Okay.
And we had some kids do some challenge matches, too. It was pretty neat that they just wanted to wrestle. These junior high kids just need to wrestle. They don't get a whole lot of tournament exposure. They just need matches.
And that was going to be my next question. Mat time is so crucial at that age, isn't it?
Yep, very crucial. I mean, going to practice, grinding in practice is one thing, but getting out there and doing it, and I mean, they're kids. They're 13, 14, 15 years old. They need to get out there and away from their Xbox or PS5, whatever it is, and just get on the mat.
Just get on the mat and do that. Also, we'll talk a little bit of boys wrestling. I know in case TJ can't make it, but we'll talk a little bit about the boys wrestling. I mean, we got regional duels.
Duels this weekend.
At Napoleon. How are things looking as you're stacking up, getting ready for the regionals?
We have Tyson Claybo back this week. We have Ryer Muskie back this week, hopefully. Everybody is not sick right now, so we'll knock on wood. We'll see. It's going to be fun. We haven't been to region duels for 40 years, whatever. Never.
Yeah.
This is our first time for region duels.
Because I know in the EDC, the top 4 teams went to state, so it was a different bird back then.
Yep.
And there's some tough teams.
Oh, there's
in
some very
this
tough
office.
teams. South Border, EEK, Lisbon, Kindred. Kindred's number 1 seed, I believe. TJ, Aaron, and Nick Thornton have been game planning, dual planning for the last 2-3 days here. So I kind of just help finagle the kids in the background and make sure things are going well.
You heard the cats.
I heard the cats, yeah.
That's a full-time job, too.
It is a full-time job.
Getting that done. Let's talk a little bit about Express Wrestling. We've got Girls' Night Out coming up here in a couple of weeks.
Girls' Night Out is the Sunday after the state tournament. The same Sunday, the weekend, February 22nd, here at the Hack. We have 8, 9 local youth teams coming, bringing their girls, hopefully bringing some of their high school girls to be bench buddies and coaches. We'll have girls reffing. It's a night to just highlight girls wrestling. There's no boys wrestling that night. There's no awards given out. Each girl gets a custom designed gift that we've given out here in the last couple of years. First year was a blanket, then it was a beanie hat. Last year was a T-shirt, and this year's going to be something pretty cool too.
And I know, talking with, I think I was talking with Alex Graffing and I think it was Olivia Ford. We were chatting a little bit, and we don't know what it is, and they were getting all excited because you don't let them know until the night
and I
out.
actually did have it on the flyer, and then I deleted it, and I'm like, nope, just put special gift.
Because then they really look forward to it when they get there. And you talked about the high school buddies and the bench buddies and the high school girls. That's one thing that Valley City has. These girls really, I mean, a lot of them ref, but they really like taking these young ones, these young wrestlers under their wing.
When we have express practice, it's usually right after high school, girls and boys practice. Deegan Kirschman stays a lot. Catherine Russell stays because her brother's in there. Hunter Undham's been staying. Ann Buloh's been staying. We've had a lot of kids stay after practice and help out because that's where they started at, too.
Right. And they know, they probably saw when they were there,
Yep.
the high school wrestlers kind of stepped
Right.
in and they know what it meant to them.
Yep.
And so that's kind of the same thing with them
And
now.
this year we didn't get to do mat buddies. That's when the kids run out with the high school wrestlers. We didn't have a whole lot of home duels or opportunities that matched up. So
How has Express Wrestling been going this year?
great. We have about 90 kids. We got a lot more coaches this year, which is fantastic. It's been going pretty well.
How has that, having, these volunteer coaches stepped up, and that really helps you and just the whole program as a whole, doesn't it?
Yes, absolutely. It's not just me out there preaching all the time or talking to the kids. They get new faces. We have Amy Whitbeck and Dustin Kruger's helping run practice too. They build practice plans together. So it keeps it a little bit more organized, not the cats aren't all over the place like sometimes. But
And that's K through 6, or what is usually the
pre-K through 6.
Pre-K
Yep.
through 6th grade.
They can be a pre-K kid as long as their parents a coach. So
Okay,
Yep.
okay, there are some rules.
Yep.
Anything coming up for Express as far outside of the girls' night out?
there's tournaments everywhere in Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota for the next 2 months. If you look somewhere, you'll find a tournament. This weekend there's Devil's Lake, there's Fargo, Horace. Obviously, I'll be gone.
Yeah.
Kruger will be gone on Saturday for the girls' duels. Amy Whitbeck will be gone for the girls' duels.
Right.
So we've told people that don't expect on a coach being there, but still, if you want to go wrestle, go wrestle.
And that's another thing we talk about, the junior high kids, Express Wrestling, just go.
Same
go
thing,
to as many tournaments and
Go
you
to as
possibly
many or as few as you want to.
can. Right,
Yep.
because you only get, what is it, iron sharpens iron?
Iron sharpens iron. And I've told a lot of the newer parents, newer wrestlers, to stay to the closer tournaments like a Lemoore or a Lisbon or a Castleton. Or last weekend was Northern Cass. It was great for our little kids, our new kids,
Right.
because there's a lot of little and new kids up there as well.
We won't, switching back to the high school, we won't get a chance to chat before the individual duels, but you got a healthy Ryer Muskie and Tyson Clavel coming back, and you look at the way that Simon Trapp has been wrestling.
Yep.
Do you feel you've got a good group that we might have a lot of, not just placers, but first and second and thirds?
I'm hoping so. The Class B realm is new to us, and it's a lot deeper pool than the Class A realm. And each team gets to bring one. There's no alternates
Okay.
in the Class B individuals. So we got to put our best foot forward, and hopefully it goes that way.
And you've got somebody in every weight class
Yep.
that's competitive and will show up.
Yep,
and,
that will show up. Yep.
and do what they got to do.
Right.
And that'll be coming up this weekend is in Napoleon, and of course right back here.
Right back here, big weekend next weekend. Girls individuals are Friday, and boys individuals are Saturday. So if you are in the mood to watch some wrestling, the Hack is the place to be. It's going to be happening.
And hopefully it's nice weather. You can just park somewhere and walk.
Right.
Because it's gonna be tough. Matt, I appreciate it as usual. We look forward to seeing you on Girls Night On the 22nd, and good luck to you and the boys here this weekend at the regionals.
Appreciate it, Paul.
You bet, Coach. Coach Matt March joining us here from Highliner Wrestling. Back with more Coach's Corner here from the Hack on a Highliner Activity Network. Back here at Coach's Corner here on the Highliner Activity Network, and we are now joined by Jimmy Howard, head coach of the Highliner girls. How you doing, Coach?
Good.
So far, so good. Another good week for Highliner basketball, but are you seeing this team each and every game, though? They're still improving, though. I mean, there's still a lot of places you could say, yeah, we could improve there.
Yeah, I would say second half against Castleton was probably the best half we've played of basketball all season. And so seeing us progress, where we want to get to, I don't think we've been where we want all season, but we've just continued to find ways to win and get better and better. But I would say the second half against Central Cass was by far the best we played, and now the goal will be can we build on that Saturday and continue building on that through the next week and heading into region play.
I think it was 48 points in the second half against Castleton, and also your contributions are, it's not 2, 3, 4. You're getting 7, 8 contributions.
Yeah, early in that game, they really were trying to take out Katie Birchall, not letting her score, and Sky picked it up right away off the get-go and kind of got us going. Dakota got some drives, got some buckets at the hoop. When they're paying a lot of attention to one player, it opens up driving lanes. And then Maddie didn't have her best shooting night, but she found ways. She hit a big three in the second half, got to the hoop a few times, and contributed that way. And then, we talk, if you're not scoring, what else can you do, And I thought defensively we played extremely well, controlled the three-point line, which is a big key against Central Cass, is trying to limit the amount of threes they're able to take and make, and then being able to help in the paint without fouling is a big key, and I thought we paid a lot of attention to detail with that, and then off the bench, Kinsley Glant had 2 threes. Mariah had 6 points. We posted her up a little bit. Kaylee Nielsen had a big game off the bench. Let's see. Yeah. And, and so, and Kinley Suffolk had some good cuts and, and saw some things. And so, we're getting contributions from a lot of kids, which is nice. Which
is very nice. Well, one thing that I've seen about this team this year, and there's 2 or 3 that do it really well, is the passing and getting the ball and finding, Katie Koch is a tremendous passer. And I think this is the second game in a row she didn't score, but had 5 or 6, 7 assists.
Yeah, and her thing is she's out there to play defense. That's her big role. And then she catches some passes I don't know if other kids catch because of her athleticism, and then she, I wouldn't always say they're the best fundamental passes, but yes, she finds a way to get those passes into the post, or she sees a cutter and is trying to tip it to them. Sometimes try to do it before she's got the ball in her hands, but no, she does a tremendous job defensively for us, and then what she gives us offensively is all a bonus. She gets hot. She's a very streaky scorer, and I've seen her in JV games put up 20, and she's hitting threes and getting to the hoop and things like that. And so, they come and go, and she had some good looks too on Tuesday, and they just didn't fall.
She still has that volleyball mentality. Just let it touch your fingertips. No, you got to catch this one and then do something with it. You can't just let it go. There was one play in that game against Castleton that, as a fan and maybe as a coach, you yelled no, and oh, hey, good. I think it was a half-court pass by Dakota Potres, but it was on the nose. I can't believe it was Katie that caught it down low and then went in for the easy layup. She's doing that. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, there's those. It's usually when you yell no that something positive happens. You're like, usually it's on a shot.
Right.
It's like, no, we don't. All right, that went in.
Okay.
But she sees the floor well, and she can make some of those passes just with her length and size. So I think our sharing of the ball has gotten better. We were stagnant probably halfway through the season in our offense quite a bit. I thought last game we really moved really well off the ball, which forces help defense. They can't all, you can't pay attention. If you're the backside help and all of a sudden your girl cuts somewhere else, if you don't leave, now she's wide open.
Right.
And if you do leave, now we're one-on-one in the post. And with Sky and Katie, that's a big advantage for us.
Well, a game this weekend wasn't on the schedule originally. Lost that Tuesday of the BCT, so you made a game, got a game there, but then you ended up playing them in the BCT. We got Lemoore Litchell Marion coming up here on Saturday on the road.
Yes, tough team. I think it's going to be a good game. It's a good game for us heading into the end of our season and heading towards region play to get a team that matches us a little bit. And it was a good game at the BCT. I expect it to be a good physical game down there, and I hopefully it kind of gets us ready for tournament play.
And the difference, that was game 3, I think, at the BCT. The girls were coming off a state tournament in volleyball. I don't think they were basketball ready yet. Now they are.
No, and you're playing on it. It was a neutral court, so both teams are in the same situation. But and they're going to be at home, so they're going to be a little more amped, and they're familiar with the court. But they kind of mirror us a little bit, and so it's more or less, I think, who can execute, which is going to be good for us because there are stretches where we don't execute well, and can we continue to get stops defensively and force ourselves to execute our X's and O's on the offensive end because the rest of the season scoring hasn't been our issue. It's been getting stops on the other end. So can we do that? Can we make it difficult? They're going to pound the glass, and we're going to have to match the physicality and the rebounding.
And this is one of those games where free throws are going to be crucial, too. And it seems like you have been doing a little bit better at the line.
Yeah, we usually make them, I say, when it matters most. But they definitely got to the free throw line more than we did in that game and converted there. And then I think they had a couple more threes than we did, and it was kind of the difference in the game there. So once again, try to control the paint without fouling, take care of the basketball, and then push them off the three-point line. So if we can control the paint and we can control the three-point line, you have a good chance of winning.
And then get back home again on Monday, finally.
Last home game, Monday night,
Okay.
Parents' night, senior night.
Okay.
And so it'll be nice to be home for a game here, and then 2 on the road before we get a week off and then region play.
February 23rd, 2 weeks away, and we start the region tournament.
Yep.
All right, Coach, appreciate it. Good luck this weekend.
All right, thank you. Go Highlanders.
Coach Jimmy Howard joining us from Highlander Girls Basketball. Back with more Coach's Corner here from the Hack on the Highlander Activity Network. Back here on Coach's Corner here on the Highliner Activity Network, and now here we are chatting with, we got to go. We are chatting with Coach Tim Miller from Highliner Girls Wrestling. How you doing, Coach?
Good. How are you?
Fantastic. Hey, it's actually a beautiful day. I was
It is.
above
It's
freezing when I started my car.
30-some degrees.
I
yeah.
like that. I like that. It's actually warmer here than it is in Florida. Let's talk Belle of the Brawl. It's tough for me to say. Belle of the Brawl in
Yeah.
Castleton here
Yeah.
this past weekend. We had 4 placers.
We had, we had
Three
we had
and
4
three
placers.
plus.
Yes, 3 plus. Yes.
But we'll start off with Miley taking second at 142.
Miley wrestled 142 this weekend. This
Yeah.
weekend, aside from what happened this weekend, we have some wrestlers that are changing weight classes. But
Okay.
this weekend, there was a lot of changing of weights for everybody across the state that was at that tournament. There was 38 teams at that tournament, by the way. So it was a huge tournament. But they're over and above most people in the wrestling world know this, but after the first of the year, so it's after essentially our Christmas tournament, all of the weight classes go from whatever weight they are, 2 pounds additional.
Okay.
And that's to allow for the health and the growth of a wrestler so that they're not cutting weight all year, so that their body's allowed to grow. So the weight class 142 goes to 144.
Okay.
Well, there's other stipulations. It's called consecutive day wrestling allowance. If somebody wrestles on, let's say, a Thursday night and then wrestle again on Friday, that's everybody at that tournament gets a pound. Okay, so you're not cutting into the next day.
Okay.
Well, at the Belle of the Brawl tournament this weekend, there was a total of 4 pounds. We call it 2 plus 2. So there was the 2 pound standard allowance plus somebody wrestled Thursday, that same team wrestled Friday, and that same team wrestled Saturday.
Okay.
So they got a pound allowance from Thursday to Friday, and they got another 1 pound allowance. It's called a consecutive day allowance
Yep.
from Friday to Saturday, which gave us 4 total, which is a lot of kids that can't cut that additional 2, but they can't cut down to, let's say, 144.
Okay.
But they can make 146. So a lot of kids should change weight classes. So,
Okay.
And we had a couple that wrestled in weight classes outside of what they have been wrestling in.
And Deegan, she went to 136, but she's been in there. She's been kind of wrestling 136, 142, hasn't she?
She's been at 142 pretty much the entire season until I think this was the first tournament. Belle was the first time she went to 136.
Okay. And took third. And
She went 4-1 and got third. Yep.
and we were just talking about that. And then you had Catherine Russell 170, went 4-1 and took fifth. How unusual is that to win 4 out of 5 matches and be fifth?
Well, in wrestling, it's very unusual because normally, like we just talked before we went on air, that the only kids that finish with 1 loss in a tournament are the second and third place finishers. The way they do it at the Belle of the Brawl tournament and some other tournaments, when you lose a match in wrestling, when you lose a match in basketball, depending on where it's at, if you lose your first match, the best you can do is fifth.
Right.
Let's say at the state tournament, for example. In wrestling, if you lose your first match or your second match or your third match, the best you can do should be third. If you keep winning and go all the way back through the bracket, you can actually wrestle back to third. To save time is one reason, and to prevent match limits. There's a 6-match limit in one day in North Dakota. So to prevent that from happening, what some tournaments will do is wrestle back to fifth, which means then how do we determine a third place match? Third place is simply determined by the 2 semifinal losers drop down like they would in basketball,
Right.
and they wrestle for third and fourth. So that's how we can have somebody with 1 loss finish fifth. It's not the norm, but it happens sometimes in wrestling. When it's a big tournament, it's a one-day tournament, a big one-day tournament.
Right.
Because you're only allowed 6 matches in one day, or a total of 10 over the course of 2 days. So I guess that's the explanation.
And Valeria Costa Batista, she took 7th or 8th. She didn't get a chance to she wrestled her last match, I think, was consolation semis.
Yes, and then they don't wrestle for. There's 2 reasons why they did not wrestle the 7th and 8th place match. One is because Castleton just said we're not going to wrestle it.
Okay.
So for that reason,
Okay.
they were only going to place through 6. That's one reason. And then another reason, even if they were going to wrestle through 7th and 8th, Val could not have wrestled because she hit her 6-match limit.
Okay.
So that's another reason why she did not wrestle that.
So went 4 and 2. and is what she did on Saturday.
She went 4-2, lost twice to the same girl.
Same girl, yeah.
One of them was a very close match, very winnable for her. Just one takedown, one scramble. We say one scramble difference. I mean, if she wins the scramble, she wins the match, and the other person got it and beat her 3-0. So, yeah, she had a good tournament also.
95 points, finished I think 11th out of those 38 teams.
Yeah, we did well.
As a
You know, we're not. I would say we're not quite as good of a tournament team as we are maybe a dual team. It's close, but we're probably a little bit better dual team than we are a tournament team. I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to the placing at our team placing
Sure.
at that tournament. You know, more so, my brain is, you know, at that we weren't going to win it. There was a lot of Minnesota schools, plus you know some true Class A schools, which next year changes, of course. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Yep.
And so, just, you know, mainly we want to be improving and wrestling hard the entire match. That's one thing that, you know, we've kind of gotten on the girls about, is finishing our matches, wrestling hard the entire time. If we do go to our back, don't get pinned, that sort of thing. But, yeah, so that was main concern versus how we finished points-wise as
Sure.
a team
Yep.
there. Because whether we finished 9th, 11th, or 13th, wasn't gonna change anything in the grand scheme of things for
Right.
us going forward.
It was more performance than points was
Yeah,
the
well, right.
mentality.
Yes, yep.
Now this weekend in Fargo for the dual regionals, I believe.
Fargo South High School, yes. 14 teams going. The top 4 advance to advanced state.
Okay.
And they're gonna do something similar with that
Okay.
for same reasons. We are not wrestling back to 3rd, so to speak. We are wrestling back to 5th.
Okay.
Okay? The 5th place finisher will then get to wrestle the 4th place finisher
Okay.
for that final spot. You know, the 4th place
Sure.
finisher is going to be whoever loses in the semis.
Yep.
Is gonna, 2 semi losers are gonna drop down, wrestle for 3rd and 4th.
Yep.
The loser of that is going to get 4th.
Okay.
The winner of this match back
Console,
here
yep.
is gonna get to wrestle them, as long as they have not already wrestled them. So,
Okay.
I'm just gonna
Yep.
give you an example, and I'll spin it in favor of us. Let's say we're gonna probably we will wrestle Lisbon, our second match of the
Okay.
day. If we beat Lisbon, and then we advance to the semis and lose to, I think it would be Grand Forks.
Okay.
And if we were to lose that match, and we'd be wrestling for 3rd and 4th, if Lisbon got 4th, or sorry, if we got 4th and Lisbon got 5th, since we beat them in the second round,
get 4th.
we're locked in at
Yep.
4th. So that's how that works. So-
And they used to do that, I think, a lot of times in these double elimination basketball tournaments and so forth. If you already played them once, you're not going to play them a second time.
Yeah,
in
you
the
don't have a
same
chance
tournament.
to improve your placing if you've already wrestled them.
And it's very similar to these state qualifying basketball games. If you finish 3rd, you still have a chance to get to state by winning
Wrestling
a state
somebody, I
qualifying.
think somebody in the other region, right?
Yep,
That got
in
second.
a different region.
Yeah.
Yep. And so this is and I kind of like this, giving it that 5th place team, hey, we still have an opportunity to get to state.
Yeah, well, if girls wrestling was not going to a Class A and a Class B next
Mm-hmm.
year, I think we would see changes to limit this. We talked about it last year. We don't want to have 14 here.
Sure, yeah.
Really, it's too many, and because here's the problem, here's why we had to do it, because we could hit a 6-match limit.
Yeah.
And so that's why it was done this way, so that you cannot afford to hit a 6-match limit, because how can you have to have a winner
Yeah.
in there somewhere. And if you can't wrestle it, like Val wasn't able to wrestle her 7th and 8th place match, because she hit her 6-match limit. If we do that here, well, then then how do you decide? A coin flip,
Yeah.
right? Who's going to state? Had we stayed the same, there would have been some sort of qualifying criteria to say you have to do something during the regular season. You have to have a winning record and have at
Okay.
least 3 duels or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? We have 14 teams, and some of them are going just to go to participate, knowing that they really, they might have 5 wrestlers and they're still taking
Sure.
a dual team. So
And we've already discussed it. Next year, they voted. We're going to have an A and a B next year, because now everybody's in one. There's no classification. It's one
Right,
big group.
right.
But next year, it's going to be A and B, which it shows the growth of girls wrestling in the state of North Dakota, doesn't it?
it shows the growth. Yeah, absolutely. It's absolutely growing. The one thing a lot of coaches talk about behind the scenes, one thing I'm hearing is, it's borderline too early. simply because there are going to be some weight classes that are going to, there's 16 that we want to take to state, 8 from the east and 8 from the west.
Okay.
There may be some weight classes now that we've split A and B, everything's cut in half. There may be some weight classes where we're going to be hard pressed to even find 8 at, let's say, heavyweight or 190
Sure.
to take to state from the east, or the west is going to have a hard time finding 8 or 9 to take to state at 190 or heavyweight are the two most likely culprits where
Right.
they wouldn't have
Yes.
enough, but that would look odd on I'm sure they'd find somebody. Theoretically they could take the heaviest 190 pounder and move them up if that happened, but if we don't grow next year again,
Yep.
which we should, I think I figured last year the average dual team or the average team in North Dakota, or that attended our tournament last year, when we were trying to run numbers on our tournament last year, or this year, to see what was going to be too big
Okay.
to have at our tournament. We were trying to run numbers, and I think last year we had an average of 7 kids per roster, average. And this year, I think in North Dakota, we're around 12 average, so I don't know what that comes out to. Former mathematician over there, Coach Hansen, could probably tell us exactly what percentage that is, how much growth that is.
Almost a 50%
It's not
growth.
quite double, right?
Yeah.
But if we grow anywhere near that, then we should be okay. But yeah, it's exciting because now more opportunities are going to open up for our girls to place that maybe couldn't before.
Right.
And for us to place higher as a team at state, this year, when we're wrestling against Legacy and Bismarck High and BHS, and then, West Fargo and Fargo, who are, West Fargo is one school,
Right.
which includes North, South, and Davies. Fargo is.
Fargo is, yeah.
West Fargo is Cheyenne, West Fargo Packers,
And Horace.
Horace. And Grand Forks is Red River, Central, East Grand, Thompson, and Sacred Heart.
Okay.
And that's one school,
One
and that's
school.
who we're competing against, and that makes it, puts us behind the 8 ball a little bit, makes it
does.
absolutely difficult. So next year we won't be dealing with that.
Next week, Friday, the girls' regional, individual regional here at the Hack. Since we won't get a chance to talk before that, how many do you feel realistically wrestlers you feel are good that have a chance to move on and place and move on to state?
I would say 8 to 10.
Yep.
8 to 10 of our 13 weight classes. I thought you were going to ask that, so I thought about it actually. Normally I'm not thinking a lot about the next week's tournament.
Yes.
I focus on this week. It's just too much for my brain to. I don't like multitasking.
Right.
Period. I end up doing it, but I don't like doing it because that's when I make mistakes. So, but yeah, looking forward to then.
Yeah.
I would say, 8 to 10. We have a chance of 8 to 10 that have wrestled well enough that I know if they wrestle well that they can make it.
That starts at 11 o'clock, I believe, in the morning here.
Our region individual wrestling will start at noon
Noon,
on Friday.
on
I'm
Friday.
not sure what time the boys will start,
Sure.
but we start at 12 noon.
And it's the girls on Friday and then the boys
Correct.
on Saturday.
Yep. And I'm guessing we'll end up wrestling till, we are going to wrestle the finals separate, so that becomes, another, it tacks on an hour. So I'm guessing we're going to go till 8-ish,
Sure.
8 o'clock or so.
Plenty of time to get over here and watch some wrestling here
Absolutely.
on next Friday night.
Yep,
That'd be a good
absolutely.
way to spend Valentine's Day. Just come watch wrestling.
It would be. I don't know if everybody,
Agrees with me,
Yes,
yes.
right.
But it would
But
be
I
a good
agree
thing.
with you.
I like that because I know that's what I'm going to be doing. So.
yeah, I'll probably be there too.
I'm sure. Well, Coach, again, good luck this weekend. And I don't have my glasses on, but opening up, who's your first match here on
Our
the
first
duels?
match is Mayport. That should not be an issue. They don't have a full roster. And then our second match will likely be Rugby or Hillsborough. That should not be an issue, in theory, running the
Right,
numbers.
right.
And after that, it's Fargo, one of the Fargo schools. It gets hard to try and predict it out
Yeah.
farther than that.
Right.
And of course, we are preparing if we lose to Lisbon, that's the path we would have to take.
Right.
The Lisbon duel that we had last time, it was within striking distance. We did lose to them in the duel. I think 45-24. It sounds like a lot, but that is within striking distance. So
Yeah.
if we were to go that route, it would be Lisbon, then Grand Forks. Yeah, either way, we're going to have and then we're looking at possibly Castleton somewhere in there also. We kind of know who the top 6 teams are. The top 6 teams are Pembina County,
Yep.
Grand Forks, Lisbon, Central Cass, South Border, and us. I think any 4
Okay.
of those 6 will. 4 of those 6 are. That's
Come on,
absolutely
these.
going to be 4 of those 6
Right.
that go to state. So, depending on who wins some of the early matches, it's going to change what happens in the rest of it.
Sure. Well, we look forward to it. It's coming up this weekend, and then the regionals next weekend. Coach, I appreciate you joining us, and
Thank you.
We'll talk again.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. That is Coach Tim Miller. We'll be back with more Coach's Corner here from the Hack and the Highlander Activity Network.